Baton Rouge rapper NBA Youngboy once said, "I feel like I'm Gucci Man in 2006." Well, tonight the Dave Matthews Band did a couple of things for the first time since 2006, and we'll talk about them. We'll also hear from a fan that was at the show tonight in the Houston suburbs. The D&B post show stream starts now.
Said I'm gonna make you wanna climb right up yourself. So break free, might have to give up your life. But I was thinking, how could I get inside? You, I drink your poison if you fill the car. You make me crazy, baby, don't let up. But if I'm falling, I don't wanna stop. Everything to have your love. I drink your poison if you fill the cup. I drink your tears, don't you cry, 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 cry. She is a wicked heart. Yes, she is. She says I'm going down so hard you might never come back. She's gonna break free the way she loves to laugh. Could I get some of that? Girl, I drink your poison if you fill the car. You make me crazy, baby, don't let up. But if I'm falling, I don't wanna stop. I give up everything to have your love. I drink your poison if you fill the car. I drink
It's your boy Concert Viz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34.
Yep, so your boy Concert Viz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Thank you. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
But Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. H-Time, what up? Shout out to Galveston. Shout out Sugarland. Shout out A&M. Shout out the University of Houston. Shout out to Rice University. McAllen, Texas, what up? Humboldt, Texas, what up? Shout out to the Houston Rodeo. World's largest rodeo. I've been twice. Pasadena, Texas, what up? Pearland, what up? Conroe, what up? Northwest Houston, shout out to the Medical District. League City, what up? Cypress, Texas, what up? Shout out to the Kroger I went to back in 2016 with the dope, what was it, like the turnovers? Those are dope. What up, what up? It's your boy Concert Viz 34. Thank you guys for being a part of this D&B post-show stream tonight. So the first order of business is just a moment in this concert that yet again proves why this band is awesome when they actually make mistakes. Band played the song that Jane likes tonight. And while they were playing it, they messed up. And what happens when Dave messes up something? What happens when they noodle around with something by accident? That is when the true magic happens. We crash-ended May with an awesome recovery by the band after making a mistake on the song that Jane likes, in turn giving us a better moment than if they actually played it right. This is the only band I know that makes mistakes and makes the show better. I will listen to a show where they mess up something and recover from it any day over a show where they're too perfect, where they're too polished, where it's too commercial. We got the Woodlands Jane wreck. They'll probably never play it like that again. That's what happens with everything that is so magical, but I'm glad we got to hear it. You know, Prelude to Grace, the intro to One Sweet World, that's instrumental. They have so many things that they just like play very well. That beach ball, by the way, at this same venue, they had a beach ball with an awesome solo by Rashawn back in 2009 as they were road testing Big Whiskey in that EP, which, by the way, is better than the actual Big Whiskey album. Yeah, this band throws away a lot of stuff. They hide a lot of stuff. They B-side a lot of stuff that actually is phenomenal. And it's a testament to just how great some of the things they make are that they may not feel as heavy or hot on. I think Jacksonville night one was just a hot bad night. I know some people liked it, but that was the one show that sticks out that's not like the others. The rest of this tour is in a great space. When this band was in this portion of the country in May and June of 2023, they were figuring out things. Last time, if you watch the post-show stream from last year here, we talk about people sitting down. We talk about quiet moments as they busted out a bunch of songs, and they played After Everything for the first time ever. But that was expected. This was an album, Walk Around the Moon. Their newer albums aren't road tested as much. What up, Alex? Good to see you there. What up, Michael? We're gonna have Michael on in just in a little bit here. But last year, this time, they had to figure out things. They had to work through things. This year, they had the liberty of knowing what works from the new album and knowing what doesn't work. They have the liberty to finish the last stop. Well, they always had that liberty, but they're actually finishing the last stop. They're going PNP into Pig instead of Rapunzel. Someone asked what happened to PNP and Rapunzel. Well, the kids all went to college. They spent more time with each other during the pandemic, and they realized it was best to have more space. They're still married, but they sleep in separate beds. It just works better. And I truly believe putting Rapunzel away for a little bit is a great move by this band. I love the I think the world of you part or whatever it is. I know the lyrics just as much as Dave, which means I don't know all the lyrics. But like, I think the world of you. That whole part is epic. But they played the Earth, Wind, and Fire out of that song last year. So doing PNP and the Pig is a great thing. Doing Jimmy Thing into any song is a great thing. And tonight it was So Damn Lucky. Now, that song was also played a lot last year. I would like to see it be toned down, but I'd rather see So Damn Lucky than Brick House. If I want to sing Brick House, I'm gonna go on the Thursday night karaoke night at the bar down the street and then sing Brick House. I don't need it at a DMB show. It was cool the first time, and that's all I needed to hear. Rashawn had fun with it. He had a little thing last year, and that was cool. And they had a nice joke, and that's what made it fun last year. And what I think the year before that. The point is, I like this better. Jimmy Thing into a DMB song, and it's really now we have Jimmy Things that are really 10 minutes versus a 16-minute chunk out of a show where it's either a cover or it's Jimmy Thing. And I actually thought Jimmy Thing was a little bit better than it was. And Michael, thank you for hopping on. We're going to get you on in just a second. We'll transition into you in just a second, but just hang tight where you are. But I love Jimmy Thing going into something else. And I thought the Jimmy thing sounded better tonight. This whole show kind of felt quicker. I'm getting we're an hour behind here on the East Coast, but it still felt like before we knew it, the main set was over. But that's because they played good songs and they had interesting things. Even the Crush E2 spot, it seemed like there was a little bit more variety at the end of that. And I talked about that a couple of nights ago, about how the Crush needs, I still think it should be reduced, but nonetheless, they added a little bit more to the end of it, which was a little more unique. But to get a full Last Stop, to get Break Free, to get the Dreaming Tree, to get Pig, and on top of all that as well, to get a Don't Drink the Water this late in the game. So I talked about 2006. One of the things about 06, the last time that that Don't Drink the Water was played later than this year, it took 6 shows this year. It took 11 shows in 2006 for Don't Drink the Water to come in. And I ultimately think the less they play this song, the better. Everyone's heard it. It's a great message. But reducing it allowed for more space for other songs to shine. I love the intro of Don't Drink the Water on a night like this. They've been extending it out over the last couple of years, like the prelude or whatever you want to call it. They've been doing that. I actually loved the intro part of it more than the actual song. Just like I like A Prelude to Grace better than Grace Is Gone. Why? Because on Sirius XM Radio, DMB Channel 30, when I was listening, the prelude allows for each band member to hop into a space and then hop out and they mix in, but you could hear each individual band member do something cool, from Stefan's bass to Tim being a little more toned down. You could still hear him. He still had that distorted the flying V, but you heard him kind of just tinkering a little bit versus full out wall of sound. You could hear the horns coming. You could hear Dave a little bit. I absolutely love the anticipation and the buildup of that Don't Drink the Water prelude or whatever you want to call it better than the actual song. But I do understand that I am in the minority, as most fans absolutely love that song at a show. Or maybe not most, but a good percentage. I would say 60%. I think a lot of fans have had it so much at shows, but nonetheless, they're going to play it. I just like how it's being played less so far. We're in a week and a half into the tour, or no, 2 weeks into the tour almost, or whatever we are. Who's keeping score? The point is it's been played less, and that's a great thing. The other thing from 2006 that was special about this show was it was the first time Dreaming Tree has been played. Oh no, not Dreaming Tree. Last Stop has been played at this venue since 2006. And in many ways, it's kind of worth the wait. They didn't get any half stops or quarter pounder stops here like we got at MSG a couple of times. I saw some of those. And then the half stop I got at the Gorge in 2019, I believe it was, or 21, one of those years. I think it was 19. Yeah, I think it was 19. But they get it back for the first time since 06, but they get the full thing. And it's worth the wait. Trust me, you didn't miss much when you get pumped up only to be cut off halfway through. But I just think this band is in a really good space, and they're going to continue to build on it because that's what happens every single tour. They build on it. And I'm just very excited about what this band's going to do. If this is May and we're just into June, it's June 1st on the East Coast. I can't wait to see what they're going to do later in this tour, as I'll be this month now. This month is June 1st on the East Coast. Alpine's coming up. Deer Creek's coming up for some of y'all. I will not be at Deer Creek, but I will be at Alpine. And even just the midweek shows. I mean, the Jacksonville Night 2 show, the Tampa show was better than Jacksonville night 1, and that's a 2-night stand. So that's great. That's great that if you only can show up to one show and it's a midweek show, you could get something like Tampa. And that's a heck of a midweek show that we got to open up the tour. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to set up, I'm going to keep talking, but I'm going to get Michael set up in the transition that I'm going to do, but I'm going to still keep talking with you guys. Don't forget to hit the like button to raise my self-esteem. No, I'm just playing. But yeah, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oops, that is not the right URL.
Can you hear me, Marcus?
Yes, I can hear you, Michael.
All righty.
So we're gonna.
I'll hold off until you give me the go. Okay.
All right. And let's see. Oops. Let's make sure we can hear his audio. I did talk as far as while we're setting everything up. I think one of the things that, from an audio perspective on SiriusXM, when this show started off, I couldn't hear Dave's guitar. Like Pig, you could hear Tim. It was and it's not Tim's fault. This is the sound mix thing. I would, if anyone's watched from SiriusXM, my feedback would be if there's a way, and the band audio mix, if you can turn, I know I've said this for the last 300 years, if you can turn Tim down just like a smidgen on SiriusXM, he's not as bad at the shows anymore. And again, not his fault. This is the sound engineer's job. Turn Tim down, and turn Dave, the guy with like his name's on the band. Turn Dave Matthews, that guy, Dave Matthews, turn Dave Matthews up, please. Please and thank you on behalf of everyone listening on SiriusXM Radio. We just, what is it? We want to hear Dave's guitar. I don't know if that, I don't think that's greedy. I think we just want to hear Dave. All jokes aside, we want to hear Dave's guitar. Please, somebody, anybody, turn Dave's guitar up. The Volta stream had it the best. You could hear Dave's guitar better than at a show at the Volta stream, even with, they had issues setting it up. But once everyone got in, you could hear Dave's guitar perfectly. All right, we're going to transition here. And let me know if you guys can hear Michael.
What up? It's your boy Controversy 34.
All right, I think you came through. So we have Michael on the phone here. And Michael, you're from St. Louis, is that correct?
That is correct, Marcus. I am from St. Louis.
Awesome. And let's before we even get to the show, did you have any issues with flights, with travel, given all the storms here?
You already know the answer to that question, Marcus. We were delayed in the St. Louis airport for, what was it, 4 hours, honey? Yeah, 4 hours. Southwest gave us a hard time, but we finally made it into Dallas, Texas, after about 4 hours of delays. So we're just happy to be here in Houston, and we're glad we made it to the show tonight.
That's awesome. What time did your flight end up land? Like, were you here with enough time to get to the venue?
Yeah. So our flight was supposed to leave at, 1:10 yesterday? And my wife had a priority pass, so she was supposed to get in early, so she got boarded. And when she got boarded, all of a sudden over the intercom they say, "Hey, everybody needs to sit back down. We're gonna reschedule the flight." Well, my wife's on the flight already, and I'm like, well, she is 7 months pregnant, and I need her to get back off the plane. And so they said the flight has been rescheduled for 4:00. So I'm like, well, are you going to keep the woman who is 7 months pregnant on the plane, or are you going to let her off? And thankfully they let her off. So we got some food, and without letting us know or anything, they had rescheduled the flight again 30 minutes earlier than they had originally scheduled the flight for after the reschedule. So we sprint back to get back on the tarmac or whatever. And she gets back in line. She is about to get back on the plane. And all of a sudden they say, hey, by the way, we're rescheduling the flight again. So they rescheduled the flight for 4:40 after rescheduling without letting us know. The flight that they had rescheduled for 4 o'clock was at 3:30.
Wow.
But fortunately, they didn't reschedule the flight again. So we were able to get on the flight at 4:40. And the flight from St. Louis to Dallas is about 2 hours. So we were able to get in about 7 o'clock. And it's nice to have some family in town. So we're able to schedule everything around that. We were able to catch the Dallas Mavericks game and see Anthony Edwards get blown out. But it was a long day in the airport. So.
Oh, so you went to the Mavs game last night? Wow.
No, I was able to watch the game on TV.
I was that would have been pretty epic if
it would have been cool to be able to go to the Mavs game, but I am not made of money that way. So no, we're just gonna watch the game at home. So.
All right, and so before the show tonight, the tailgate, how was that experience with kind of the aftermath of the weather from last night?
Well, so we drove in today at around noon. And so we got into Houston around 3 o'clock. We got our first Buc-ee's experience. That was wild. It was like being in a Walmart, but in the deep South. So that was crazy. We didn't actually do any tailgating before the show. We kind of stayed at our hotel and took it easy. But it seemed like the area around the show was pretty easy to navigate. People were walking freely around the amphitheater, and it seemed like parking was pretty easy, but getting a hotel close to the amphitheater was actually pretty nice because we didn't have to worry about any parking. Where were we at, a Hilton, right? Or where were we at, guys? We're at a hotel close to the amphitheater, and we have literally a 5-minute walk. So it was super easy to get over there. And that's what I would suggest if you're staying or if you're going to a show at this amphitheater, is getting a hotel close, because there's a lot of hotels within walking distance, and I would suggest doing that if you can.
That's awesome, especially with just like when I was in Tampa. Houston is not a public transit city.
Yeah.
The Woodlands is outside of the ring. It's 30 minutes from downtown with no traffic. So it's great that you have something within walking distance. Don't have to worry about all of the cars and hustle and bustle. So we start off this show. What we open up with One Sweet World PNP Pig. At the beginning of this show, what was going through your mind?
Well, I have seen One Sweet World as a opener a handful of times, and so the thought through my head is, all right, I'm gonna just try to keep it cool. It's my 50th show. I'm gonna just try not to think about this being the typical show. I'm just gonna get through One Sweet World. And then I hear the Pantala, and I'm like, all right. And my brother's here with me, and we've been to many, many shows together. And I turn to him and I go, you know what's coming here. Like, this tour is different. Pantala is not just going into Rapunzel. What do we think is going on? And Pig happens, and we just high five each other like, all right, thank God, like it's something different. We know that it's not just going to be the normal set tonight. And we both love Pig as a song. We both love singing that song together. And honestly, that just set us off for a great night. We just wanted to have fun together tonight. Him living in Dallas, Texas, and me living in St. Louis, we don't get to see each other that often anymore. And hearing a song like Pig again really helps us rejuvenate that DMB fandom that we don't get to have with each other as often as we'd like to. And so that made it a lot of fun, just 3 songs in for the night.
That's awesome. And with this show, how was the sound? Where were you sitting?
We were like dead center in the lawn. We don't usually get actual seats. We usually go the cheapest route possible, but the sound sounded fantastic. And he had talked it up to me before we even got here, because he's been to a few shows at this amphitheater before. He said, dude, this is an awesome spot to go see a show at. It's a very small lawn, but it sounds fantastic. And there is a speaker pointing straight at you if you're dead center on the lawn, and you can tell because it sounds freaking awesome there on the lawn. I would suggest if you have a chance to go to a show in Texas to go to this amphitheater because it was an awesome experience all around.
That's great to hear. And throughout, we go through the set, and after Pig, we get Dreaming Tree. What was it like to get that? And it's your 50th show.
Yeah, man. I have a tattoo that is based off the Dreaming Tree. It is based off a dream that I have about my mother who passed away when I was 7 years old, and it's a reoccurring dream that I have of my mother sitting next to a tree telling me how to go about my life if things get tough. And hearing that song with my brother, with my wife, going to the next stage of our life, about to have a child, it was kind of just an incredible moment for me. And it's hard to kind of put into words how much it kind of meant to me to hear that song with the people that I care most for, and who get my DMB fandom the most. And I think it's my 4th time singing the Dreaming Tree, but I think this one meant the most to me. And it was a fantastic performance of this song. And I'm going to go back and relive that moment over and over and over again. Because I couldn't believe in my wildest dreams of seeing this in my 50th show. And I've had some good moments at some monumental shows. I got 41 at my 41st show. I got 40 at my 40th show. But this might top it off as one of the coolest moments of my DMB fandom for sure.
That is incredible. And what do you think of the Jimmy thing not going into some sort of cover and instead going into So Damn Lucky?
You know, I've always been a fan of So Damn Lucky. So for the fact that Jimmy thing transitioned to that song, I was all for it. Jimmy thing is probably my brother's least favorite song on the catalog. So when I turned around to him and saw him like, oh my God, let's get this through it. Honestly, I don't know how long it took, but Jimmy thing seemed quick comparatively to what it usually does. And it transitioning into So Damn Lucky, he loves So Damn Lucky too. And so when we got to hear that together, that was so much fun. And throughout the night, there were probably 2 points in the entire show where I was like, ugh. Jimmy thing was one of them. And I forgot the other one, but let me check out the set list real quick. There's another. What was the other one? It wasn't so much to say. It was Don't Drink the Water. But Don't Drink the Water was also quick. So tonight as a whole, it was like even 2 songs that were like, get this over with, please.
Yeah.
They went fast. And I turned to him a couple times and I was like, this is an absolutely incredible set, because even the songs that are like the ones that casual fans go to, they played them, but they played them fast enough to where they could get to the ones for the hardcores. And like after Don't Drink the Water, they played Looking for a Vein, which sure, it's a new song, but it's a song that everybody loves from the new album. Stay or Leave is a song that everybody loves to hear. Number 27, right after Stay or Leave, fantastic song. So Damn Lucky, even after Jimmy thing, like people don't like So Damn Lucky that much. I know in the general fan base for the hardcores, a lot of people don't like So Damn Lucky that much. I love hearing that song. And I think Walk Around the Moon's also a great transition from that. I thought tonight overall was a fantastic, especially for a Friday night concert series. It was a fantastic show to go see.
Yeah. And speaking of that, we get a last stop towards the end of the set, second to last one. What was it like to get a full last stop here for your 50th show?
So a little bit of a throwback. In 2016, my brother moved to Dallas, Texas, and he gets last stop in Dallas, Texas. And for the first time in both of our fandoms, and I am livid at him because we were supposed to see it together. He FaceTimes me, when FaceTime finally comes out, and I'm like, I can't even deal with you right now. I'm hanging up on you. I literally didn't even watch it with him. I was so mad. We go to the Gorge in 2016 together, and we see Last Stop together, and it was one of the cooler moments of our brotherhood because we were with plenty of people, and all the people that we were with gave us space because they knew how much it meant to us to go see that Last Stop together. They play the first 3 notes of that riff, and we both turned to each other and just hugged each other as loud as hard as possible tonight because we knew it was coming, and we were so excited to watch that full Last Stop again. If I would have told you 5 years ago that this band was going to play Dreaming Tree and Last Stop in the same set, you probably would have bet anything against that. Seeing Dreaming Tree and Last Stop in the same set tonight is an absolute dream come true. I truly can't believe that I saw that. I was in absolute awe. I had my hands behind my back or behind my head quite literally the entire time I was watching that song. It was absolutely incredible to see those two again, and I'm so thankful that I was here tonight.
Definitely, and it's such a interesting turn for this venue to get this type of show after last year, when it's you don't have those heavy hitters all in the same show like you just mentioned. What'd you think of the encore Rye Whiskey Crush?
So my brother and I, again, we both have listened to Rye Whiskey a lot together, many different versions. We hit the tailgates with each other a lot whenever we have the chance, and Rye Whiskey is always a song that we go to. So it's always fun to listen to that one. We also, and I know that Crush isn't one that a lot of hardcores like to fandom over because it gets played a lot. We love Crush. And I think that might be because one of the greatest Crush, and I might be biased, but I believe one of the greatest Crushes of all time was at the first show that we ever went to, which is Busch Stadium 2008 Live Tracks 13. And I listened to that version on repeat because I love that song and that version of that song. I can't get enough of Crush, and I think that even if it is an encore song, with the set that they played tonight, I don't mind it whatsoever. It's better than a Watchtower. It's better than a Shake Me. It's better than it's better than a lot. It's better than a Sledgehammer. It's better whatever. Play Crush. It's a staple of the band. It's a banger. People love it. Let them jam out to it. Let them do it. I don't mind that at all.
Awesome. And this show had a poster. We're gonna bring that up here for people to see. Let me just slide this over. But what did you think of the poster for tonight?
Well, I have a few Mazda prints. I'm glad that this is one of the ones that I can hang up in my classroom someday. There's not as many shrooms or weed in it, so I don't have to worry about my kids asking, Mr. Twigo, what the heck is that on the wall? So there's a house, and there's a bowl on there, and there's stars in the distance. And I really like the color scheme of it. It's pretty basic in terms of what Mazda usually does. Mazda usually does pretty like trippy stuff. He usually has a snail involved. He usually has a shroom involved. He usually has some crazy color schemes. This is purple, red, blue, and white. And I think that it worked well for Texas. I like the print. I didn't love it, but it being my 50th show, of course I'm going to pick it up. And in my basement, I'm trying to put up a I'm trying to put up a print from each state that I've seen the band in. So I'm going to the show in Dallas tomorrow too. So of course I had to pick up this one just in case the one in Dallas is terrible. But I did like it. I thought that it was different from what Mazda usually does, and I did like the color scheme. So that's why I picked it up.
Yeah, and I also noticed there looks like if you look at the top where the tree is, there's two stars that look like eyes.
Yep. Yep.
And then the tree branches almost look like a mustache or some sort of person. But
Yeah.
I would rather that Mazda do this than be too trippy. I do not like some
For
of his
sure.
trippy things, but I get there's a whole market for that. I mean, his
Yeah.
posters sell out easily, and it's trippy. The Gorge one from a couple years ago, the Alpine one from 2022, I think it was in Deer Creek. I think he had
Yep.
one there, but they
Deer Creek
sell
was
out.
last year. Yeah.
But it's like, to me, it's like Jameis Winston having one good game where he doesn't make any bonehead plays. And it's like,
Yeah.
obviously you're not going to get the full highlight reel of Jameis Winston, but you're not going to get interceptions. So I like him toning down the trippiness and having the solid colors, which is a strength of his, in my opinion, for what I like. Again, just me, artist subjective. So this would be one I pick up, but a lot of the Mazda prints, I'm not going to stand in line for something as trippy as he did at the Gorge a couple years ago. Did the posters sell out?
No, we were walking out tonight and we saw stacks of them.
No.
Yeah, the people, the guys at the, and honestly, I think that's a Texas thing. If I'm being honest, I mean, there were some decent prints last year in Texas. I don't think those sold out either. I mean, Slater had a fantastic print, I think, last year.
He did.
And that didn't sell out either. I mean, I told my brother to pick me up one last year. I have it sitting in my portfolio. I can't get rid of it. I'm going to have to do a getaway because I thought I was going to be able to, get it to somebody who really needed it. Nobody wants it. And I'm like, that's a fantastic print. But I think it's just a Texas market thing. I don't think people are looking into posters that much in Texas. And also, I think part of the reason, I don't know, maybe I'm looking into this too much. Dead & Company is putting out some crazy good art right now. And I think people are like, why would I buy this print if I can go get that and I can get it for face value elsewhere? If you're into Dead & Company, because my buddy, John Woodbury.
I was literally texting him and he sent me the poster.
Man, he said it's the easiest poster thing he's ever done in his life. And those prints, if they put Dave Matthews Band on those prints, they'd be $1,000 prints. Like if they were limited to that much, if they didn't have them, for full residency. I mean, that Slater print for tonight, if it was for three nights for a weekend, man, that would be a crazy, crazy print. And I don't know. I'm wondering why Methane has 12 or 7 prints this year, but I'm not gonna
agree with the Methane. I will say with the Dead & Company, those posters, if you're there, from what I've heard from John and some other people who went previous weeks, they're very easy to get there. They're actually there's an overabundance of it there, but there are some great prints that are coming out of those weekends. Right. And there's actually, I think they're definitely cashing in. They have weekend posters. They have a whole poster. Yeah, residency poster. They have individual days. It is both cool and somewhat disgusting, but it is cool that money machine. Yeah, they're hitting on a lot of those, and they added yet another weekend, which I knew was happening. I'd heard that it was already in the works. That if anyone's listening, the Dead & Company weekend just announced they already had a contract, and so they couldn't they were strategically not going to announce it for a couple of weekends, so that if it was a hard to get ticket, they then open up that weekend and you have more demand. But I mean, long story short, that whole Dead and Company greed price these tickets up and have not 5 shows or 10 shows, have like a bajillion shows.
Yep.
Has backfired, but the fans win, and the fans are getting cheaper tickets. People cannot give away VIP tickets. It's laughable. I love the OG Deadhead. I mean, I'm in a group with a couple of groups with some really just people that saw the band in the mid 70s. But long story short, they're trying to sell VIP packages. Some people can't make it. Things came up with family, finances, and they're trying to sell these VIP packages like, oh, I'll give you 10% off. It's on StubHub. It's on anything, TickPick, and it's 40% off. You're not, and they're like, come on, guys, you guys got to, stop trying to undercut us. It's like, no, the market is here. You're here. The market is here. Lower your price and stop complaining. Anyway, nonetheless, it's definitely interesting what's going on. And I may try to see if we can get John to send us a video of just giving us a synopsis of what he experienced tonight. But yeah, the posters let's talk about the methane thing since we have you on the line. $100 per poster, $700 to get all of the methane posters for like a season subscription. What did you think when you first saw that? Hello, Michael? All right, I think we may have... lost them. Oh. Yeah, I think we lost them. Yeah, I think it dropped. But anyway, I think you guys know how I was definitely wanted to, I think Michael wasn't going to like it, but we'll see if we can get him back on. But yeah, definitely interesting. Just to transition though, let me show you the print from Dead and Company that Slater did. Let's see if we can yes, let me see. I have to get you back on. Give me 1 second. All right, we're going to get him back. We have to reconnect him so you guys can hear him. Let's see here. Copy view. Yeah, you're good, Michael. We're going to connect you here. All right. Let me know if you guys can hear Michael.
Mic check, mic check.
Okay, yeah, you're in. Okay. So we were talking about
methane.
Yes. What do you think about that? $100 per poster to be guaranteed all 7 prints be mailed to you at a later date.
So what is it? It's seven stops this tour?
Yeah, at least 7. I thought I heard something about there could be more, but it definitely at least guaranteed 7 stops for this tour.
Listen, Methane used to put out great prints. They used to give us what we consider classics. I don't know the last time somebody went, I gotta have that Methane. $700 for 7 Methane prints. If you're making that bet, you must have money to blow, because I wouldn't do $50 a print. I'm going to be honest. I wouldn't give it $350. Maybe if Luke Martin was making those, I would do it. maybe if Todd Slater was doing those, shit, if Chuck Berry was doing it, I would do it. But there are a very few amount of poster artists that I would make that deal for, and Methane is not one of them right now.
Yeah, I agree, and I think that they'll have a poster or two each year that garners some popularity. I know the SPAC one sold out, but and some of that was just because it was SPAC.
Yeah, that's the spec market for sure.
But I think that's the biggest thing is that their hit ratio of having a poster that has demand, especially when it's not a major weekend, is what's concerning about that. Because you really are going to have, just like how you said you could, that Slater was incredible. I remember that opening up last year, but for the U.S. But with the methanes, it's even more generic, and it could be like you're not going to be able to get, like, if you don't like the poster, there's not going to be a market for it.
Nope.
And so you spent $40 more than what the non-Gorge, because Gorge has been marked up last couple of years. Some other venues, I think like MSG.
But the only Gorge methane that has been worth any value over the past 5 or 6 years has been the Gorge Dragon.
Yeah,
that's the only one. So if you even think about it that way, that's what, like a $250 print right now. If you bought a Gorge print the past 5 years, that's not even paying it off. Like I don't know. It just I don't even know why you would ever you'd ever try that $700, unless you're just obsessed with getting the number of prints for every single print throughout a tour. There's no reason to do it.
And I think that's what they're banking on, because they have nothing to lose by offering it. And I've seen some of the comments, and listen, if people like it, that's their thing. But I think there is a very small niche market in that. And so if they get 10 people, which I'm sure they have 10 people that have signed up for this, as you know, the community, there's so much FOMO. There's so much panic. There's widespread panic.
Sure.
When a print sells out.
Good band.
And everyone can do what they want. The market, if they want to pay over double face, and some people just will do it, right? They may just, it's easy. The stress of having to worry is worth paying double face poster.
If you got the money.
Yeah, if you have the money, but at the same time, I just don't think it's for me, and for most fans, I don't think it's for them. But they're gonna get. Right. They've already gotten some people. They wouldn't have even offered it if no one had already done it in similar years. They did. I think 2 years ago. I don't know about last year, but I know, like, I remember hearing 2 years ago about this same process. But we'll see what happens.
Tell me if I'm wrong, Marcus, but the amount that methane is getting is decreasing
slightly, because I think it was like. It was like in 2022, we had that list from kind of poster fans across the internet compiled a list, and I think it was a little more because I had posted that was in 2022.
But what it's sounding like is they're getting the major weekends as a trade-off for doing more prints. So they're not putting as many prints into rotation, but they're getting it at the Deer Creeks, the Alpines, the Specs, the Gorges, guaranteed, as opposed to getting at the random spots like Guilford or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because they were at Guilford. I remember going to my first Guilford, and I think it was night 2 was methane. But now, like you just said, they're getting some higher demand weekends where, like we just talked about, there's panic buys or buys because I'm there. I need every poster from this weekend, regardless of how good it is. So yeah, it's interesting. I mean, again, just like we'll close with this. I think without methane, the poster community for DMB doesn't exist to the level. But there's also, with partnerships, relationships, there's a point where it's best for both parties to move on. For Methane, they have, exploring other opportunities, a fresh start with other ventures, even if it's outside of music posts or concert posters. And for DMB, the most successful thing about the European tour were all of the local artists or one-off smaller studios that got posters, and you had such success. I mean, the Dublin scenario, which was sad because
The
someone
Dublin was so cool, and the brewery was so cool.
yes, the limited edition, I actually know two of my friends, they got one of those posters, and
So cool.
the studio hand delivered. They got to go in and they got it hand delivered to them.
Yeah.
I think the next day. So
And did Dublin put a for if you wanted to buy them the APs, you had to have a Dublin address. I think you couldn't buy them online unless you had a Dublin address to make sure that people weren't going to flip them.
Right. There may have been, I could be wrong, there may have been like another release where there was everyone, but they definitely, whether it was all of them or there was a specific amount of posters from the AP prints that were only, you had to have an address there in Ireland. So that's a great idea too. But I hope that the poster spots or slots for tours go to more independent, smaller studios that have never had any chance to make a poster for DMB, or studios that you circle back on that are European studios like Mumford doing a hometown show, like Kloss having a hometown poster, and them being able to, now I have a poster for a city that I've grown up in or moved to when I was 21. And so you saw the best art that we've seen in a while consistently outside of the Methanes in Europe. You saw some of that. But hey, Michael, thank you for being on. And safe travels out to Dallas.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right, take care.
You too.
All right. All right, so we want to thank Michael for coming on. I want to transition this over to this is the Dead and Company poster for tonight. And this is Todd Slater. So they're doing some great things. There's a bunch of artists that have overlapped. What was that? Miles Sang also had a poster. I mean, because of all the shows, there's so many different posters from artists that you may have seen at D&B shows having their art there. So it is a lot of art there for those shows. All right, so that is pretty much all I got for tonight. I just want to make sure didn't miss anything. A lot of Before These Crowded Streets tonight. 6 performances of Before These Crowded Street songs. Walk Around the Moon at 3. Remember Two Things at 2. Crash at 2. Some Devil. And Stand Up also 2. 1 Under the Table. 1 Miscellaneous. 1 Cover. 1 Segue. I love these sets with there's definitely less covers already, even going from Europe, and I hope that trend continues. I love when this band covers their own music. And yes, you have a Rye Whiskey. I think Let's Dance should get a lot of love. Just Breathe should be in E1s. But less is Leroy Moore when it comes to the amount of covers. Stay tuned. Tomorrow, we'll have another post-show stream. I'm going to go to sleep. Get some rest. But I appreciate you guys tuning in to the post-show stream. And again, one last call. Michael, you did great. He said, how'd I do? If anyone has video of anything from Tampa, message me on X/Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, all ConcertViz34. I'm going to be starting that probably tomorrow or Sunday. I'm waiting for one person to get me some things on a Google Drive, and then I'll get started on that. And it is now June in the Central Time Zone as well, and that means very soon I'll be out at Alpine. So same thing, I'll be looking to make a multicam for those Alpine shows, and any video is appreciated. It could be a 30-second clip. It does not have to be a 5 or 10-minute clip of a quarter of the show. Some of the most pivotal moments in the videos I've put together are quick 15-second clips, 10-second clips, where you get a unique glimpse of something close or something further back. You can be in the lawn, pointed at the screen, and or pointed at the stage, and just having that wide shot, having a balcony shot from a SPAC show, even if you're in the last row, is a cool perspective. So I will continue to do these. And the great thing is, while we don't know the future of what the band may do from a streaming perspective, everything that I've been told is that we'll still be able to create these videos, the couch tour will still be able to exist. The band has no intention of shutting down these communities of amateur videos, of live stream videos, even if they do stream, at least right now. Again, that's what I've been told. Things do change, but basically they stay the same. See what I did there? But thank you guys for tuning in, and thank you to DMB again for just giving us these shows and giving us, of course, the Woodlands Jane Wreck, which is just, again, an awesome display of this band adjusting in real time. There's it's not a pre-recorded tape of this band playing. They're not lip singing, because they had to literally circle the wagons back. Rock me baby like a wagon wheel, which is actually funny. I've seen Darius Rucker at the Houston rodeo in the Houston Metro. But they had to circle the wagons and get this thing back on track. So, and this graphic it's on X, it's on Instagram if you want to check it out. Someone should make some shirts. Woodlands Jane Wreck. Crash into May. The best DMB jams do in fact start by accident. All right, that's it. Thank you guys for watching. I'm out. Peace.
Fire's going out, they won't find us now. Oh, 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 oh. Now, look up. Far gone story. up on the tide. The gates we storm tonight. Blind to the red. Let's see it comes back in. Well, they won't stop us now. We're on tide and pushing out. Oh, on and on.
Go see Goose in St. Louis this week. Tickets start at $10 on StubHub.
Fire on the land, smoldering red. No,
Nah, for real. They're $10 on StubHub. Michael will be there.
it's high.